I'm John Lesher, CNBC Radio. The Dow is up 62 points, and Nasdaq higher by 8. Investors are cheering a good retail sales report while remaining cautious following mixed news on the Greece debt talks. Retail sales for May showed an increase of 1.2%, a full percent higher than April. 2,000 more people signed up for first-time jobless benefits last week, slightly above expectations, but still in line with a healthy job market. Boeing is leading the Dow. Microsoft is the biggest decliner. Telecommunications is leading the S&P 500. Energy is the greatest laggard. The price of oil fell 66 cents to $60.71 a barrel. The supply of oil from OPEC reached its highest level in May since August 2012. A rising stock market and climbing home prices boosted the net worth of U.S. households to a new high in the first quarter. It's seen as a positive sign for the outlook for consumer spending. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Do you want to learn how to steal customer credit card information from major retailers so you can buy anything you want?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's award-winning firewalls prevent hackers from taking your valuable data to the bank. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about protecting customer data and your reputation, visit barracuda.com/firewalls.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to KCAA 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. KCAA is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
And coming up next is the Poorman Show, where you never know what will happen, so stay tuned for that. Inland Empire weather, a little bit cloudy out there today and tomorrow. Highs both day, 83, 84. Overnight lows tonight, 63. Currently, we are at 78 degrees here in San Bernardino. Looking at your drive, still Highway 138, east and westbound, both sides of the freeway or highway closed before Jenks Lake Road. And that was due to a hazmat spill, and that is in the Angeles Oaks area. So again, that's between Mill Creek and Jenks Lake Road. In Moreno Valley, you have stop-and-go traffic on the 60 eastbound between Frederick and Heacock Street. And in Corona, the 91 eastbound between 6th Street and Lincoln Avenue. Corona, also, there is a disabled vehicle on the 91 eastbound at Main Street, so beware of that. And that's about the latest on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Here's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Di Rice. Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates is a group looking for board members to serve as secretary and treasurer. The group will exist as a 501c3, and its purpose will be to help raise funds for those who need alternative cancer treatments. In order to be an active board member, you must either be a cancer survivor or have been in a close relationship with someone who has had cancer. You must also be able to do the work required for the position you are volunteering for, and you must accept the title as an unpaid position. If you are interested in helping to fund alternative cancer treatments and would like to volunteer as a board member for Alternative Cancer Treatment Advocates, please call Rebecca Jansch at 909-552-6718. That's 909-552-6718. That's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Hi, this is Bob with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Tune in every Thursday afternoon from 3 until 4 at KCAA Radio 1050, and we will be there to answer your real estate questions, the latest real estate news, and to talk to the leaders of the real estate industry. Our Real Estate Talk, you can find out how to stop your foreclosure, first-time homebuyer information, loan modifications, different kinds of loans you can buy with, short sale strategies, and real estate investing and more. So don't forget, tune in every Thursday afternoon at 3 for Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. You'll be glad you did.
Last week in the UK Daily Mail, it was reported that Dr. Drew did cocaine. The night before, Dr. Drew admitted his cocaine use on his HLN TV show. But lies have come out of that. Doctor, give me the news. Here to report all the news is the Poorman.
And good afternoon, everybody. Yay, we're on time. That's amazing.
Woohoo!
Woo! So this is going to be a lively show today. We got a variety of topics to discuss. And we are going to start with the admission by Dr. Drew 1 week ago today, where he came out to the world, or the few viewers he has on his HLN show at night, and admitted that he did drug use. And what we're going to do is we have a special panel of myself, Farley Malaris, and Joni Sorensen Fignetti, who all did cocaine with Dr. Drew. It's not we profess to do cocaine. Yes, we did cocaine with Dr. Drew. We're going to take apart his admission statement, because what we want to show to you, and if you know the story, this started 30 years ago. And there are many different people who feel, let it go, that's the end of it. And then there are other people that feel that it's just as big a story now as it was 30 years ago. So we're going to get into this admission, which is going to show that in 2015, this guy is still as big a liar as he was in 1983, when this whole saga began. So we're going to take a break and we'll be back. I know Farley Malaris is already on the line. Hopefully we'll get in touch with Joni, and then we'll go from there and take apart his so-called, quote, admission statement, unquote. So hang with us. A lot more is coming today on The Poorman Show.
Tired of spending too much money on an ad and then trying to find your ad in the newspaper, buried among hundreds, even thousands of other ads? Isn't it time you got a great deal when you were trying to sell that car, that dining room set, that refrigerator, or offering your handyman services? Now you can in the Nickel Shopper. For as little as $7.50 per week, your ad can be seen by thousands of eyeballs in the high desert, and they're getting the Nickel Shopper for free. Call today to place your ad in the Nickel Shopper, 760-646-3654, or go to thenickelshopper.com for all the details, 760-646-3654. The Nickel Shopper, coming soon to the IE. Have you ever wanted to bring the beauty of the ocean right into your home or office? Or already have an aquarium and just no time to clean it? Let Scuba Steve's Fish take care of that for you, specializing in new aquarium setups and maintenance. That's ScubaStevesFish.net, 714-600-2739. Check out the website at ScubaStevesFish.net. That's ScubaStevesFish.net. Get it? Fish.net? Serving Orange County and parts of the Inland Empire. There's nothing worse than a dirty aquarium. ScubaStevesFish.net. When I say Wave Tools, you think surfboards, right? But not just any surfboards. We're talking boards that just work better. Since Lance Collins polished off his first surfboard in 1969, Wave Tools has been cranking out the best boards money can buy for all of SoCal and beyond. Come check out what a real surf shop is all about. Real surfers hanging out any time of day at Wave Tools Surfboards. Customize that new board with a look that screams you. Wave Tools Surfboard in Costa Mesa. Go to WaveToolsSurf.com or call 949-631-0887. The crew is ready to assist you. 949-631-0887.
We're on. We're back. It's a new and improved Poorman show. Of course, this show is never new and improved. It is a disaster waiting to happen on a daily basis, but maybe that's why we like it.
Hey,
of course,
35 on Ustream. Starting
Really?
the show. That is a record, according to
yes,
Mushmouth.
we're up to 35 on Ustream
Yep.
just to start this stupid show. But thank you guys for all tuning into the program. I am on the air right now, right?
You
Today?
are, yes.
Okay. All right, so Farley's on the line for this dissection. Are we able to get in touch with Joni?
No,
I see it.
she still has that message where it forwards her call, and so I'm hoping that she calls us, but I'll call her back.
Did you leave her a message?
No.
Well, why don't you leave her a message? That would be a good start.
Okay.
Hey, Jim.
Okay, Farley is on here. Farley Malaris, who's part of our continuing story. Oh, wait, I just got a text from Joni.
Jim, I want to clarify something. I never liked cocaine, and I never used cocaine or hard drugs the whole time I was on K-Rock. I have been known to smoke some reef, but that's, I was not a cocaine user. I witnessed the whole gang doing their groupies and their drugs, of course, Dr. Drew included, but I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't want people to get the wrong idea on me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just got a text from Mike from Menifee. Poor man, forget this stuff about Dr. Drew and focus on the issue of paramount importance. The guy who plays Tomund Giants Bane is the Wyndham Rewards wizard. Your fans demand answers. Please discuss. You're absolutely right. Whoever that is, I should have done my research today. Does anybody know who that is?
I have no.
Maybe Mike from Menifee has done cocaine. Just call
Perhaps.
him Mike admit
Perhaps.
it. Why don't we have a cocaine admission show? Anybody who's ever done cocaine, call the show today, okay? And you can admit it on the air. How many
Hey,
of
Jim,
you would?
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that when you have me on the air on any show we've ever done, that the phone lines pop and we always get ratings? Did you ever notice that?
Have you ever noticed that sometimes we BS the audience?
Hopefully not.
No, listen, we've gotten tons of calls a lot of times. But anyway, the most important thing that I brought you on here for, Farley, and hopefully we're going to get in touch with Joni because I really want to go through this, is a week ago today, Dr. Drew made his admission about doing drugs, and it was all as a result of his people, his agents, managers, whoever are his people. They contacted them to say that this article was going to come out in the Daily Mail where a bunch of people, including you, Farley Malaris, witnessed Dr. Drew doing cocaine. Now, I've said it for years that I snorted cocaine with Dr. Drew ever since 1983, and for me, it went for about 5 years. And then you were back in that day as well. And again, people go, the thing, already the article came out, and the thing that I get bashed with is it was 30 years ago. A lot of people did drugs in the 80s. Let it go. Let it go. You're bitter. And that's the biggest thing against me. But the point is this guy who's America's doctor just keeps, we already have an admission of cocaine. This is Scott. I will admit I've done it. Scott Monroe Inman in New York. He did cocaine. All right, so you'll be in the book too, Scott.
President Bush. Bill
President
Clinton.
George W. Bush. So here's Dr. Drew's so-called admission, and the reason he admitted this on his HLN show was because they got word, they wanted a statement from him before this giant article came out in the Daily Mail Friday of last week, talking with numerous people that had done cocaine with him, including you, Farley Malaris. And how many times did you see Dr. Drew snort coke?
Well, I was your fill-in love doctor for 9 years until 92, and I never did coke because I don't like it, and it's I just not my thing. But I witnessed Drew every time up until the end. I mean, people say it's 30 years ago. Excuse me. I frankly recall seeing him do it every time I was on the air. He didn't like me to be a fill-in love doctor. He was jealous of me because he knew I was a talk show host from KFOX.
Right. Well, Farley, to get more specific,
but he was
Farley,
intimidated.
I just want to get more specific on this. How many times do you think you saw Dr. Drew snort coke in the K-Rock studio?
At least 24 love lines in 9 years, and he probably did about, I'd say, from 3 to 9 lines a shift. So times 24. He says it was 30 years ago. I'm not gonna try to impeach him or anything, but I recall. I mean, I can't guarantee he turned it down, but I know in the early parts he definitely did more than I thought any human person could handle.
All right, and how many years did you see him do it? From 83 until 83 when he first started K-Rock until when did you see that?
When you got suspended, then I lost my taste for the station because you and April obviously made me who I am today.
What year?
What was that?
What year? From 83 until when?
92. The last K-Rock I did was 92 when I continued doing KFOX and the cable radio network and ABC7 Eyewitness News.
So actually, you saw him do it from 83 to 92?
On and off approximately. The later years he might. I think he was a lot more discreet in what he was doing.
But be honest about this. This is very important. When was the last year you absolutely could know for sure you saw him doing coke in the studio?
I would have to say 85.
Okay, so from 83 to 85, you saw him do it 20 times.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so let's play. The only reason I'm asking you this, I want to play this soundbite. And I just got a text also about the fact he was my physician, and he gave me a colonoscopy once. And yes, personally, he screwed me financially and physically. But I just want to focus today on his most recent lie, which is only a week old. So here is Dr. Drew's statement on HLN on his show a week ago when he came out and admitted to, well, if you want to call this an admission to his drug use, when he heard literally hours before that this article was going to come out the next day. So here's Dr. Drew on his HLN show, and then we're going to dissect this.
I get accused of being perfect all the time, and that is no, I am not a perfect person, especially when I was younger. I was a screwball like everybody else.
Right.
I did drugs and alcohol when I was 22, 23 years old. And I think I went around denying it when my kids were younger. This is where the problem is. There's a very strict parenting rule I have, which is you do not tell anybody what you did during your adolescence, young adulthood, unless you want your kids to do the same.
Right.
Now, you don't ever lie to your kids. If they come to you, just go, we're not going to discuss that. My kids just graduated from college, so I can talk about anything right now. I did cocaine, alcohol, pot when I was for a year. And by the way, it informed me later on. No, it informed me because I didn't like it that much. And so when I saw people unable to stop, I thought, oh my God, this is something very different than what I experienced.
He said coke very fast. He said coke very fast in that admission. He said he was 22 to 23 years old when he did it, and he said he was a med student, and then he went on about he didn't want his kids to know, and that's why he didn't let anybody know. Is Joni with us now?
Yes,
Guy?
she is. She sure is. Hey, Joni.
Hey, Joni Sorensen Fignetti joins Farley Malaris, and the three of us have all witnessed Dr. Drew doing cocaine. Hey, Joni, how are you?
Good, Jim. How are you? Hi, Farley.
Hi, Joni.
You know, before we even get into this, I want to say you guys have a lot of courage to come forward and say this because you have nothing to gain from this. And I know that Farley's been bashed mercilessly on Facebook. And Joni, you're getting heat.
I'm getting heat too, yeah.
And Joni, why is it that it's important for you to let people know you snorted coke with Dr. Drew? I just want to get the background of why this is important to you when you have nothing to gain.
Because, well, it's not so much the cocaine, it's the fact that he lied about stealing your show. I just think that, people have been saying to me, Jim just keeps hashing this out. It's 23 years ago. Why does he keep bringing it up? Because I think that if anyone invented something like Love Lines, or let's say the owner of Coke someone stole his recipe, and then they became the multi-billionaire. It's just not right. I don't think that time heals the thievery of it. It also shows his character. You watch this guy, and he looks like a soft-spoken, nice guy, but really he's a snake in the grass, and he's a thief. And he just has that sweet next door image, that people like. But to me, I've seen him do coke, I've seen him drink, I've seen him smoke pot, and I've seen him rip your show off.
Right. If I can add, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but every single K-Rock Christmas party I went to for 9 years, Dr. Drew, from my recollection, drank heavily in my personal wishes. You said he did coke in the back room. I don't know how long he did it for, but this is a credibility issue. What people don't understand is that this is about all doctors. I mean, if you think Dr. Drew is the only doctor out there that's whacked or loaded and giving advice and therapy and trying to tell people about drug rehab when they're going to go get drunk that night, or they're on coke while they're talking to you, so they say, well, why won't you let this go, Farley? Why are you backing up Trenton? Well, Trenton's the reason why I am who I am. He's the reason why I got on all the shows and all the money and all the prosperity and all the clients and promoted my number thousands of times. I'd come home, there'd be 100 messages on my answering machine during graveyard.
But in 2015, today, you have nothing to gain from me by doing this.
Absolutely not. I am totally not into this for money. I'm totally not into this for the show. I feel terrible that your baby, your concept, your dream, 100% developed by your mind, was taken to you from Dr. Drew Pinsky and Adam Carolla, and they made millions on it, and his credibility is zero. I have zero tolerance for liars, and when they're doctors that are drunk and stoned and trying to tell the public how to live their life in a healthy way, it's BS. It's bull crap.
Let's you guys, just for a minute, let's go to this admission that we just heard. Dr. Drew said in this admission statement he had experimented, or he didn't say experiment, he had done cocaine, marijuana, and alcohol when he was 22 and 23 years old. Now, he was born in 1958. He did not start on K-Rock till 1983. That is a verified fact. And he was 25. So did you guys, from when he was 25 onward, actually see him do coke? We'll start with you, Joni. When did you do coke with him?
In 83.
Sorry. Huh?
I did it in 83.
Yeah,
during the graveyard shift, the 12:30 to 12 to 3 o'clock in the morning shift, the late night. Remember when you drove your car back and forth so many times you drove the oil out of it and your car exploded?
No, I don't remember that.
It was a brand new car that your mom gave you, that your parents gave you, and you just drove it back and forth from Kcaa to Huntington.
And I forgot to put oil in. Okay, that's a whole different.
That's
no, but that just shows you. I mean, I was there. I see a lot of it.
Right. So that was in 83. So he was 25. And tell us, was it during a love line that you and he did coke?
Yeah, it was during a love line that we did coke.
Tell us what happened.
We went into a bathroom. I had a half a gram. I split it with him, so he got a quarter and I got a quarter, and we put an eighth each up our nose, which at the time was a lot. I felt like after I did that, and my face was so numb you could have hit me with a baseball bat and I wouldn't have felt anything.
You remember that?
I remember it because it was like the fattest line I've ever done.
And did Drew do just as fat a line? Hello?
Joni?
We're
Joni.
in Loveline Studio.
Wait, hold on, Farley. We lost Joni somehow. Maybe she did it. Is she gone?
Oh, Joni, are you there? I thought I just heard her.
This is me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, we lost you for a minute. We were talking about Drew's fat line.
Oh, yeah, we both did it.
Okay, and you were saying why you remembered doing it all these years later.
Just because it was one of the fattest amounts of coke I'd ever done, and my face felt like it was like it was paralyzed. It was like almost overdosed. Like
Now, so Drew was 25 then. Was that in 83 that you guys did that?
That was in 83, yeah.
So he was 25, not 21 and 22, like in the statement that he made a week ago. So there's a lie. And then also he said he didn't enjoy it very much. Did it look to you like he was not enjoying his fat line very much?
Well, no, he looked like he was happy when he went back out.
So you didn't have to drag him into the bathroom to do that fat quarter gram.
No, because he was a nobody when I met him. He wasn't Dr. Drew like he is now. He was Dr. Drew Pinsky. That he was your doctor. He was your friend that came in every once in a while, and he did the calls when people needed like medical advice, and I was answering the phones during that time. So he wasn't who he is now. He was
after
anybody.
Joni, after the line he did with you, did he go back and give love advice right after that,
yes.
and medical advice?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
High on coke.
High on coke.
Okay, and the other thing too, like Farley's been blasted by Richard Blyde, a guy I used to work with, for not being an employee of K-Rock. I want to point out that Dr. Drew also wasn't an employee of K-Rock. It didn't mean that people didn't come into the studio a million times.
That's exactly right. I was not an employee of K-Rock, but I answered the phones there all the time during Love Lines.
Right. So there's your situation. So and Joni's just saying he liked doing his eighth of a gram that froze off Joni's face when she did the other eighth. And he also liked, and he also was 25, not 21 or 22. And then, so then the third criteria.
Employees. We were not employees. I was not an employee of K-Rock, but I did work there and answer the phones. I was not on their payroll. I just came down because I was friends with you.
Right. Now, the other thing was, at that time, was he a medical student or was he a doctor by that point?
You know, I don't remember which he was on that. Yeah. I just remember he was called Dr. Drew.
Right. So that might have, I think in 83, he wasn't yet a doctor. So he was also holding himself out as a medical doctor who gave advice, I guess, after snorting an eighth of a gram up his nose. But then Farley, let's get to you. Huh?
A quarter of a gram.
But I thought you got, that's right, because you had a half a gram and you each did a quarter, right?
Right.
You know, I could use a quarter of a gram for my show right now. I'd probably speed it up, huh? Okay, Farley, I'm sorry it took so long to get to you. You said for between 83 and 85, you witnessed Dr. Drew doing coke 20 times. So we're just trying to dissect, folks. Here's the thing. This is not about 30 years ago. This is about a statement, his so-called admission statement that he made 1 week ago today. In fact, Farley, before we go to you, why don't we take a break? We'll play that statement again. Can both of you guys hold on through the break?
Sure.
Okay, so when we come back, we'll play this. Can you hold on, Joni?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute. We got Farley Malaris, Joni Sorensen-Fignetti, and myself, who all snorted cocaine with Dr. Drew, and we're talking about his beautiful statement of admission, his honest admission statement on HLN 1 week ago. And my question is, why doesn't HLN care about their doctor being a lying sack of crap? That's a big question, but we'll talk to Farley in just a moment.
Are you starting a business, have a business, but need to help ensure it's operating compliant with the law? Do you have business contracts with other parties that need to be reviewed to ensure they're protected and you avoid costly litigation? At the law offices of Michael W. Brown, we specialize in providing legal advice to businesses to ensure they succeed. Our firm can help you select the correct business structure, such as a corporation, LLC, or partnership. If your business needs a contract prepared or reviewed, we can help. The law offices of Michael W. Brown has over 20 years' experience providing practical and cost-effective legal advice to small, medium, and large businesses.
I'm Michael Brown, and my firm has helped our clients get their businesses off to the right start, grow, and be successful. We represent businesses of all sizes, large, medium, small, and even the individual. Our firm has experience in a variety of industries, including medical and healthcare, manufacturing, distribution, and telecommunications, and I know I can help your business as well.
Now you can have your own legal department for your business, ready when you are at a fraction of the cost. Initial consultations are always free. Call us at 949-636-8128 or visit us at mwb-law.net. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesOrama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesArama.com.
And I guess we're back. Welcome to the Poorman Show. Today, pretty explicit, investigative show. We're getting to the bottom of Dr. Drew Pinsky and why he should continue to be on the air. And Farley Malloris is here and Joni Sorensen-Fignetti. Are you guys both still there?
I just want to say that I think HLN's a pretty crappy station as it is. I mean, they show forensics and then like they'll drop a show in of Nancy Grace, and then they'll have hours of forensics, and they'll drop a show in of Dr. Drew. They don't have anything that goes like from morning till night. It's mostly just forensics.
Joni, can I interrupt you, please?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make something clear because Jim is.
Okay, let me reestablish you. This is Farley Malloris, and I screwed up. But how did I screw up, Farley? Go ahead.
I have never done cocaine on K-Rock ever, not in 9 years there at the station. I'm a freelance reporter for K-Rock. I was never paid by K-Rock. Jim Trenton promoted my practice on the air, announcing my telephone number thousands of times. He helped make me the man I am today.
You're an astrologer.
Even though I tried it once when I was younger, I never liked it, and I never did it at K-Rock. And he says we all did. I witnessed it being done by almost everyone except the chosen few, besides other drugs, which I won't mention, and I would never speak of because I respect most of the jocks there, except for the daytime
Farley,
shift,
I apologize. I apologize. I did not know I was making you a coke user.
Yeah, I am not, and I never will be.
Right. My apologies on that. And
okay, thank you.
All right, so do we have the statement ready again, Di? I want you guys to hear Dr. Drew's so-called admission one more time a week ago, and then Farley will respond to this. There are basically three things you need to listen for: the ages that he apparently did cocaine, the fact he was a medical student, and the fact that he never liked it. But and then there's a lot about he didn't want to admit it before because of his kids. The answer to that is he heard that the article from the Daily Mail that started this all a week ago was going to come out the next day. So this was damage control. So listen very carefully, and then Farley will give his experiences.
All right.
I get accused of being perfect all the time, and that is no, I am not a perfect person, especially when I was younger. I was a screwball like everybody else.
Right.
I did drugs and alcohol when I was 22, 23 years old. And I think I went around denying it when my kids were younger. This is where the problem is. There's a very strict parenting rule I have, which is you do not tell anybody what you did during your adolescence, young adulthood, unless you want your kids to do the same.
Right.
Now, you don't ever lie to your kids. If they come to you, just go, we're not going to discuss that. My kids just graduated from college, so I can talk about anything right now. I did cocaine, alcohol, pot when I was for a year. And by the way, it informed me later on. No, it informed me because I didn't like it that much. And so when I saw people unable to stop, I thought, oh my God, this is something very different than what I experienced.
Farley, how many times did you see Dr. Drew snort cocaine, did you say?
At least 20 times.
And did it look like he didn't like it very much?
It looked like he was high as a kite, and it made me sick and want to vomit because he's giving guys drug advice at the same time he's wired on coke.
But
and
as
I'm like
he said,
thinking to myself, what am I doing here? What is this guy doing here? And I'm trying to tell you to get rid of him because he's a bull crap artist. Listen, dude, doctors are trusted. We go to them for diagnosis, for treatment. If a doctor's a liar, if he has a credibility issue, do you really want to go to him as a doctor? Do you really want to see him as America's doctor on radio and television? I mean, no offense, Drew, but what you did was wrong. And everybody I know that did drugs that's sober now that has chips, I haven't noticed any comments on sobriety. I haven't heard that he's in a 12-step program. I haven't heard that he's ever I've heard he's admitted use, but has he ever stopped use? That's my question. And would you go to a doctor that you knew was drinking and using drugs like that back then or even now? I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust my life to a doctor like that. I mean, Jim, this guy gave you a colonoscopy. He went up your butt. He might have been coked and drunk when he did that. He could have pierced your colon. He could have murdered you.
Hey,
there's rumors out that
Farley, I want to specifically go to that statement though. Did it look like when he snorted coke he didn't like it? Like he said, he didn't like it much.
Oh no, man! He looked like he was having sex. This guy, he was giving me an opportunity to finally counsel people in a sober state, while he was, getting high as a kite. Alcohol was in the station. I didn't drink. I didn't do coke, but
Right,
a lot of people did.
so what you're saying is it looked like he enjoyed snorting lines.
Oh man, I never seen anybody enjoy coke in my life. Next to him, he's number one as far as I could see, and as far as what you told me at the K-Rock Christmas parties, when he'd come out of the bathroom with you, the guy was on a cloud. And
Yeah,
we went
he
to
was-
a lot
he
of
was-
K-Rock Christmas parties together, you and I.
Yeah, I specifically remember being at one of the K-Rock Christmas parties in the late 80s, and
Like 88.
Yeah, I think it was 88, 87, 88. And I believe it was at a place called the Bicycle Club. You correct me, that was in Santa Monica.
Correct.
I was in a toilet with Dr. Drew and with one of the sales directors who had the baggie of Coke. And we did some lines in the middle of the Christmas party, a lot of blow. And then we came out and enjoyed ourselves the rest of the rest of the night at the K-Rock Christmas party. But Farley, you had said earlier in today's show, you saw him do coke on 20 different occasions, 3 to 6 lines, something like that, from 1983 to 85, correct?
Well, he never turned down the record album or the mirror where the lines were. In my recollection, whenever the mirror was passed to the air staff first, I always turned it down. You did a few times because you were busy, but I don't ever recalling him passing on it. I recall him actually enjoying it, and I would think to myself, what the hell is going? What is this guy's a doctor? Are you kidding me? And I thought to myself, there's no way they would pay me to see a doctor that's coked out of his brain. No way.
And you actually were thinking, you actually were thinking that as you watched him do the lines back then?
Jim, I was in the bathroom with you guys at the Bicycle Club. I watched it.
No, you weren't.
I also witnessed.
No, you were not.
I didn't do it. I was smoking a doob actually.
No, but you were not. You were not in that. You were not in that bathroom.
I'll back you up on that one too.
No, you were not in that bathroom. It was just the three of us.
He didn't want me to be there. He didn't like me. He didn't like me.
Farley.
He knew I knew
Earth to Farley. Farley. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you were not in that bathroom with us. It was just the three of us. But that doesn't matter. You saw him on a bunch of
I've been in the bathroom with you plenty of times. Doing all kinds of
Sounds like another kind of
that.
admission.
Right? Yeah. No, I won't admit to that. You weren't cute enough for me.
Jim, I think I walked in the bathroom and someone said, "Please leave."
Right.
To be completely honest, but
okay,
I knew something was going on that I shouldn't see.
Basically, we obviously have heard. He said he was 21 and 22 when he did coke, and we've established he was 25. And in my case, till he was nearly 30. In Joni's case, he was 25. In Farley's case, it went up till he's 27. And so that's been discredited. He was a med student for the first year he was on K-Rock when he was holding himself out as a medical doctor. So he was doing coke while he was a doctor as well. That's been established. I guess you can say he didn't find out he didn't like it until a long time afterwards, if ever. So what do you guys think about him admitting to this drug use a week ago and still fabricating the truth? What do you make of that, Joni? Why do you think he's doing that?
I don't think that he got addicted to it, to be honest. I mean, I know you guys don't want to hear me say that.
No, I want you to the truth.
I think that he did it and got off of it on his own. I mean, I know I got off it on my own, and I didn't have to go to rehab. I had to go to rehab later in life for alcohol, but that was much later in life. But for coke, I think that he just did it while he was there because it was like a fun party atmosphere. You know, the music was loud. There were people calling. It was just kind of like a party Sunday night with really no bosses there.
Yep, that's true. But what do you think of his statement that he made a week ago that obviously wasn't the truth? That you would agree with, right?
Right. Yeah.
Why do you think he did that instead of just actually admitting the truth?
Well, I think, like you said, the Daily News came out, and he had to counteract it before it became like word. Before it like became, he's like being outed. So he's outing himself before he gets outed. That's what I think on that.
And why do you think he still like tried to conceal the truth about his use? Why do you think he didn't admit it?
Celebrity rehab, and he took those poor people down a road too. As far as I'm concerned, celebrity rehab was a joke. He took poor people that were once somewhat celebrities, not really that popular, and he put them onto a show, and he filmed them struggling and cursing, and very few of them actually got sober during that show. He just did that for a moneymaker. To me, he's like the money-making doctor. He's got a practice. He's got a TV show. He's got another TV show. He's just ridiculous.
Can I say something, Jim? Yeah. Well, you guys, listen. Thank you so much for that.
Can I add something before I go, Jim?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Farley.
Yeah, I compare this to Brian Williams, okay? This is not about medical or being a doctor. This is about truth in journalistic reporting. Brian Williams falsely reported the news. Dr. Drew falsely claimed to be a drug rehabilitation counselor or doctor. He lied about his drug and alcohol and marijuana use in the 80s. He might be lying now. I don't know. It sounds to me like he is. I don't know if he stopped drinking or stopped using. He's never claimed sobriety or a 12-step program. Brian Williams' career got nuked when it came out that he lied about serious reports about the war over in the Middle East, and that's what it's about. It's about truth in the news, in journalism, and respecting the credibility of people that are trying to pretend they're experts on anything on radio or television.
All right. Well, this is a developing story. I'm just wondering how HLN, even though they're a crummy network, as Joni said, they are part of CNN. I mean, this is a big network.
Another crummy network.
Right, a big crummy network. But the thing is, knowing the fact that he is not telling the truth on his TV show, is HLN just going to ignore this, or are they going to suspend him, like Brian Williams? Are they going to suspend him?
I doubt they'll suspend him. Because a lot of people that are drug and rehab counselors or doctors were once alcoholics or drug addicts themselves. If you go to a rehab, the people that are there to help you are people that have been through it, and now they're sober, and now that they're sober, they can understand what you're going through. It's like
right, but I agree with you on that. That's not the issue here. The issue is he lied in his admission. Would they suspend him for the lie?
I believe they will. Yes, I do. I'm going to make a prediction here that Dr. Drew is going to get suspended.
HLN has 3 shows that are somewhat good, and that's one of them. And they're not going to cut their nose off to spite their face.
Do you both, Joni? Do you believe though he was lying in that admission statement?
Yes, I do.
Farley?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so all of us feel he was lying, and we know he was lying because we were there.
Right.
So anybody who has any contact with HLN, I hope you send them a copy of this show, or you ask them, are you just going to ignore the fact that your so-called America's doctor is lying about his admission? Yes, okay, this is the point why it's not 30 years ago. It's 2015, because the guy is a liar today on his network television show. Is that something you want to accept? We obviously have nothing to say about that. So it's in your ball. It's in your court, HLN. How are you going to deal with it? And we'll be back after this. Thanks, you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Joni. Thanks, Farley. You guys are great.
Love you, man.
Thanks, Jim. Bye.
And you have a lot of courage for standing in my corner, which I will never forget.
Give out my website, Jim.
What is it?
It's radioastrology.com. Add me to your Facebook, everybody.
Okay, radioastrology.com. And Farley will give you your astrological forecast, and he's the best. Okay, see you guys.
Okay, Jim. Bye-bye.
Too many men are wimps.
Linda Gross loves men. Bet that got your attention. Linda is a men's advocate who has helped many men get their balls back. And she can help you. Her proven coaching techniques will skyrocket your confidence and boost you into action in 4 sessions or less. Stop being stupid with girls, in business, or dump a lifelong problem. Go to themensadvocate.com or email Linda info@themensadvocate.com. Mention the Poor Man Show and get 15 minutes free. Also, pick up Linda's book, Mastering Women, on Amazon. Get the straight talk from the woman who knows. This may come as a surprise, but Beatles-orama is in its 15th year of keeping the Beatles alive for a new generation. If you spent any time in the 60s, or if you're smart enough to know it was the coolest era for music, you're going to love us. Just go to BeatlesArama.com and the player should start right up. We're also available on TuneIn, iTunes, Windows Media, and more. Once you tune in, you'll be hooked. Plus, you can join our Facebook fan club and follow us on Twitter. Be sure to bookmark it. BeatlesArama.com. Leather doesn't have to be expensive. Not when it comes from Lucerne Lapidary and Leather in the Lucerne Valley. Who doesn't like leather? Get leather belts, wallets, gun belts, holsters, rifle scabbards, and original design handmade saddles. But that's not all. There's jewelry, custom design, custom cutting, shaping, engraving, polishing, repair, and more. Even classes in jewelry design. Come see it for yourself in the high desert. Lucerne Lapidary and Leather. 32776 Old Woman Spring Road in the Lucerne Valley. Call 760-885-7777. That's 760-885-7777.
Poorman Show. Again, my thanks to Farley Malaris, the astrologer, radioastrology.com, and to Joni Sorensen-Fignetti, who are just a couple of the people that have snorted coke with Dr. Drew. If you read the article in the Daily Mail, there's an unnamed girl who is now a woman who is 14 years old that said she had snorted coke with Dr. Drew off a turntable. I don't know if people still know what a turntable is, but that was back in the early 80s. And then we have another woman who doesn't want to be, she's upset about it and doesn't want to be included anymore, but she admitted also that she did coke. She was a K-Rock intern. There's many, many, many more. It just takes a lot of courage. By the way, Di, Michael Brown is calling in right now, so keep your eye on the
no,
the
he's right here.
Okay, good. Di, what do you think? I mean, you've been listening to this whole thing. Like, Farley's been bashed mercilessly on Facebook as just being a quack and being out of his mind. Joni is getting garbage from family. I've had family that are really harassing me and saying, why are you bringing this up now? What disturbs me about this whole thing, and again, I'm not going to lie, I'm pissed off this guy stole my show and has made millions off it. Of course I am. Every day I think about it. But the other thing is, he's still lying in 2015. That's what I just can't get over, is this statement he made last week where he still couldn't admit it. There's been tons of people that have admitted coke use, and for some reason he can't. But Di, you've heard the whole thing. You have no involvement in this.
Right.
I don't care. Be honest with me what you think, and then we'll get Michael on here.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I understand how you feel, and I told you the incident on the air with my friend Pam, and I was bitter for a long time, and it doesn't even nearly compare to your incident. You had a number one show in the LA market on this great new station. So it doesn't really even compare. And I had another friend do me that way, which I told you about on the phone the other day. So I completely understand where you're coming from. I completely understand. He shouldn't have taken the show. He shouldn't have gone on without you. I would be like, okay, he's moved on since, right? Why didn't he call you up, his former best friend, and call you up and say, hey, I'd like you back on here, and make demands? He's in a position where he could make demands to have you on the show again if he wanted.
Yeah, I tried to reach him a couple times, 5 years ago and as recently as 2 years ago. And a guy who works with me on the show actually called as my representative on this show, a guy who works with me, helps run the website, and he wouldn't take the calls, wouldn't talk to me. But what do you think about the fact of his HLN statement just a week ago? Because again, I don't want this to just be centered on me. Yes, for me that's a powerful thing, but the fact he's lying about his drug use still.
Yeah, I'm with Farley. There's no reason to lie. If you are doing the right thing in life, there's no reason to lie. And yet he is lying. I mean, we heard the story before he made the admissions, and your story remains the same. And, I wasn't there at the station, but I've heard the show. I heard it way back when. I know that you're the one who actually started the show. I know that you are a true person. You may go off sometimes on tangents. You may get angry. You come down fairly quickly, though. You may be flawed, but you are not a liar. That's how I see it. Oh, and you know what? We're just going to go straight to Mike. Well, Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're going to actually. You know what? I'm gonna. And Brad, are you there? Brad, are you there?
Yep, Brad's here.
Brad, okay. Michael, I'm gonna have you. I'm not sure what we're doing exactly with you, but Brad, we're trying to fix a technical error here. I'll tell you what. We're just gonna do this one more time, real
Isn't
quick.
live radio great?
Yeah, he's disappeared. Poor man has disappeared.
Well,
So-
did you want to do the intro?
Well, let me take over then, because I was the executive producer of the show on VH1, 3 different shows. I work with Dr. Drew, and let me just give you a few information. Again, I don't know about the cocaine situation because it was many years later.
All right, I'm back.
Perfect. Okay, I pulled Brad and Michael on the line here, so.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
go ahead and
do.
take Michael if you wanted to. But I was just going to say is that, again, I don't know about the cocaine issue, but I do know that he pictured himself as and told everybody at the station, VH1, that he was a drug expert, and that's why we put the show on the air. And if we find out now that he didn't even have the credentials till after the show had already aired, so that was kind of upsetting to me.
Okay. Poor man, are you still there? He's out again. Okay, Michael, should we play the intro? Is that what we're going to do?
If we're ready to move on, yes.
Okay. I don't know what this is about. So you're going to, you think you can just carry it and tell us about it?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And now it's time for Laws of the Absurd, the craziest laws in the USA. Today we find ourselves in Gainesville, Georgia, Carmel, California, and dealing with sodomy. Here's business law attorney Michael Brown and the poor man.
Well, minus the poor man, but Michael Brown.
Thank you. We thought it might be fun to just go over a few of the strange and absurd laws that we have through this country, and some of them which are still in effect and could impact your day-to-day life. The first... Yes.
What's going on? Michael? Hello, Michael?
Yeah, somebody's chatting. Okay. It has, the very first one is called Has to Be Finger Licking Good. In a city in Georgia, Gainesville, Georgia, there is an ordinance which makes it illegal to consume or eat fried chicken any other way other than by hand. The law was enacted back in 1961. The concept was the city wanted to be known as the poultry mecca for the South in Southern fried chicken. Of course, this was pre-KFC, and the law still remains on the books. Now, you might think that many people would forget about this, but in 2009, a 91-year-old woman was arrested for consuming fried chicken with a fork.
Oh, my
but
God.
Was pardoned moments later by the Gainesville mayor. It is suspected that it was a practical joke.
Oh,
but
my God.
the law remains, so please be careful.
Yeah, hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
That is
you're back.
amazing. Mike's going to be on once a week with Laws of the Absurd.
I love
and
it.
by the way, for all you people who think this is an infomercial, Michael does not practice law at all in this area, so he's gaining nothing from doing this. So, and what's the next absurd law? Where are we going next?
Well, the next one I entitled Make My Day, and it takes place in Carmel, California, which many of you may remember was where Clint Eastwood served as mayor from 1986 to 1988. There, the city has a ban on high heels. You are not permitted to wear shoes with heels that are more than 2 inches high or with less than a 1 square inch heel base.
Why is that?
Why is that? That's a good question. Why would they come up with such a law? Why do they care? Well, the prohibition on pumps was basically enacted in an effort for the city to limit its liability for trip and fall accidents by people walking around the Carmel streets because they're very jagged and cobblestone and stuff of that nature. And, of course, there are a lot of tourists. And they found that they just had way too many lawsuits, so they have prohibited high heels. Now, it is not often enforced, but I have a sense that if lawsuits continue to rise, it will be. And
so you don't know specifically of one person getting a ticket for a high heel too long.
There have been tickets issued. I don't know of the exact person's name, but yes.
Wow.
But the city does give you, or you can get, a high heel permit from City Hall.
Really?
Oh, that's great. That's great. And how long is it good for? You probably don't know the details, but how long I don't know. Do you know any further details?
Well, no, other than that it's been on the books. It continues to be on the books. And it's sort of a running joke up there. It's sort of like if you go to Ireland, you want to kiss a Blarney Stone. Well, if you want to go to Carmel, I'm sure you're going to try and get away with wearing high heels. We'll see how that happens. But there is no word whether or not this law extends to high heels worn within the confines of your own home.
Okay, so that's in Carmel, and you've got one other law of the absurd?
Yes, I do. This one I call a horse of a different color. And for many of you, you might know that about 100 years ago, most states had laws that basically prohibited sodomy. But what you don't know is that not only did sodomy cover certain acts between consenting adults, but it also covered deviant acts such as sex with animals. Well, during the 50s, 60s, and 70s, most states repealed their sodomy laws due to the sexual revolution and gay rights and such. However, they neglected to retain the laws as it applied to other deviant acts. Well, in 2005, a gentleman in Washington State who was an engineer at Boeing, let's say, engaged in carnal relationships with a horse.
Did the horse enter him, or did he enter the horse?
He was he was the lucky recipient.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And needless to say, yeah, that's exactly what happened. He died of a perforated colon.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. Well, when the ambulance arrived, as well as the police, as they normally come out with any ambulance call, there was no law violated. There was no prohibition about any type of conduct like this with an animal. And, oh, by the way, he did have a friend who was videotaping the incident.
Oh, really?
My God.
And there was nothing illegal about that, but they did ticket him for trespassing.
What, in the barn?
Mike?
Hello?
I guess I'm not sure what happened with him.
Where did Michael go?
I'm here.
Okay. In the barn? Was that the trespass?
It was actually out in the wild. It wasn't in a barn. So,
but was there any ordinance on the book at all in Washington for sex with a horse, or not?
No, there was no ordinance on there because, like I said, most states had repealed them by accident, but had repealed them. Now, Washington State did immediately pass a law prohibiting not only sex with animals, but also videotaping the same.
Wow. So you're saying a lot of states in America, you can still have sex with an animal?
Well, there's a very interesting case that came out of a Midwest state, I believe it was Wisconsin, where a gentleman was driving and he hit a deer. And he stopped, he pulled over, and then he pulled the deer over, and he then engaged in cardinal relations with the dead deer.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Could be, but the police, when they came by, couldn't cite him for anything. Because in that state, it is illegal to have sex with a live deer. It is illegal to have sex with a dead human. But it was not illegal to have sex with a dead deer.
Oh, my God. That was just something they never thought of.
Wow. That's so sick, but that's really interesting at the same time. Anyway, thanks, Michael. This is Laws of the Absurd, and you're going to be coming on with us every Thursday with a different set of 3 Laws of the Absurd, right? And again, what type of lawyer are you? You're one of my sponsors, but it has nothing to do with this.
I do business transactional. People who want contracts, do deals. I just feel that it's very good to help people create something as opposed to litigation. So that's the area I do. Most of these you'll find are of a criminal nature, and that is an area I don't practice in.
Okay, thanks for being on, Michael.
Absolutely, Poorman. Take care.
Okay, and that's the end of today's show. Thanks, Di. We'll see you again tomorrow, 2
All
o'clock.
right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 a.m., the station that leaves no listener behind.
I'm John Lesher, CNBC Radio. The Dow is up 62 points, the Nasdaq higher by 8. Investors are cheering a good retail sales report while remaining cautious following mixed news on the Greece debt talks. Retail sales for May showed an increase of 1.2%, a full percent higher than April. 2,000 more people signed up for first-time jobless benefits last week, slightly above expectations, but still in line with a healthy job market. Boeing is leading the Dow. Microsoft is the biggest decliner. Telecommunications is leading the S&P 500. Energy is the greatest laggard. The price of oil fell 66 cents to $60.71 a barrel. The supply of oil from OPEC reached its highest level in May since August 2012. A rising stock market and climbing home prices boosted the net worth of U.S. households to a new high in the first quarter. It's seen as a positive sign for the outlook for consumer spending. John Lesher, CNBC Radio.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE. That's 855-930-LOVE.
Do you want to learn how to steal customer credit card information from major retailers so you can buy anything you want?
Well, we can't help you with that. But among the many IT problems we solve, Barracuda's award-winning firewalls prevent hackers from taking your valuable data to the bank. Reclaim your network like 150,000 other businesses have. To learn more about protecting customer data and your reputation, visit barracuda.com/firewalls.
Ever wonder what's wrong with the world today? It seems only sex and violence make any sort of noise in our media-driven lives. A politician cheats on his wife. A young girl gets raped. A millionaire commits suicide. Ever wonder, what's the point of all of this? And where does God fit in? If you're confused, feeling lost, or empty inside, there's a website that can help. Check out fishforgod.com. At fishforgod.com, we have some good guidance and answers to some of life's most important questions. Questions like, why do bad things happen to good people? And why do I need to be saved anyway? Without answers, we're all doomed to lead confused, empty lives. The cure for your happiness is here. You've got questions. We've got answers. Check out fishforgod.com. Again, that's fishforgod.com.
Is your radio station dull and boring like most corporate-owned stations on the dial? Then it's time to tune to Kcaa 1050 AM. It will blow your mind and maybe expand it too. Kcaa is your independently owned go-to station in the Inland Empire. It's a veritable cornucopia of crazy, an assemblage of awesome and cool, and it's a little weird too. KCAA pumps out more local and national radio each week than most major networks while offering CNBC business news headlines during the week and NBC sports news on weekends. KCAA is unique, interesting, quirky, and sometimes outlandishly crazy, which adds up to a high volume of awesome. And for you audiophiles, KCAA delivers FM sound quality to our transmitter, which is why KCAA is the best-sounding AM station on the dial. So make your day with KCAA and find us online at kcaaradio.com. KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
From the KCAA Community Calendar, I'm Mark Westwood. Everyone's talking about the Third Thursdays in San Bernardino. Rediscover the City of San Bernardino Third Thursday Food Truck Fest. Switch up your lunchtime routine. Try the gourmet food trucks every third Thursday from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Court Street parking lot between E and D Streets in downtown San Bernardino. Enjoy delicious, tasty food from the food trucks such as the Slam and Sliders food truck, Farmer's Belly, the Bacon Mania truck, Piaggio on Wheels, or the Greasy Wiener. All kinds of mouth-watering delights, hot off the truck, and plenty to eat. Put an end to dull, boring fast food and truck on over to City Hall in San Bernardino for the Third Thursday Food Truck Fest in downtown San Bernardino. For more info, check out Rediscover San Bernardino's Facebook page at facebook.com/SB Third Thursdays. That's SBTHIRD Thursdays. That's a look at the KCAA Community Calendar. I'm Mark Westwood.
KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. And we're so glad you joined us today for our wonderful real estate show, Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
How about that?
Yeah, we got a special guest today, too. Felix is going to be here to share with us all about the lending industry and what's going on.
Is he wearing a helmet?
I don't know.
Well, you say special. I just want to make sure, you know.
Oh.
Hey, Bob.
You better be careful. You're going to get a lot of people against you joking like that.
Hey, I wear a helmet all the time when I ride my bike.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it's weather changed again.
Yeah, it's been quite nice the last few days, being overcast and everything, and then not really getting very warm as a result of that.
Or very wet, for that matter.
Well,
so.
They did claim there's going to be some showers, and it really looked like it. I mean, there were some really dark clouds this morning when I was out for my walk, but nary a drop.
I thought this was sunny California.
Yeah, it never rains in Southern California.
How about that?
Yeah. How's that for a cliche?
Well, Bob.
And also we're going to talk about, for you homeowners out there, this kind of program called Hero or PACE. You may have had some contractors contacting you with regards to telling you all the wonderful things they can do to your house as a result of these programs. And we're going to talk about that a little bit further in the show. I was at a Board of Realtors meeting yesterday morning. They had the Riverside County Deputy DA there, Raymond Ramirez, and they also had a gentleman from WR something or other. It's a state county agency of Riverside, San Bernardino County, and some cities. And the guy that represents that has the contractor contract, which is called Renovate America. And we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail in in a later segment on this show. But it's definitely something that homeowners need to go into with both eyes open. So stay tuned. If you have a Hero loan or a PACE loan and have recently had new windows, a roof, or any of that other stuff that they do on your hot property, and you're happy or not happy with it, give us a call. You can call us at our toll-free line at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. We'd love to talk to you, find out your experiences with these programs, and has it worked for you or not worked for you. It is creating the program is creating a lot of problems for a fair number of homeowners that want to refinance or sell. But we'll go into more detail on that.